All right, we're in the last page of the study guide. It's 31, question 31. It says, find each of the values using the kite below. So remember our properties of kites. We said that it's going to have two pair of consecutive congruent sides. We know that these angles are congruent. And it's a quadrilateral, so we know the sum of a quadrilateral, 180 times 4 minus 2, the sum of the interior angles should add up to 360 degrees. Okay, so the first thing I would do is say that side MA and AT are equal to each other, or congruent. So we could say that 9x minus 8 is equal to 2x plus 20. All right, subtract 2x from both sides. We get 7x minus 8 is equal to 20. Add 8 to both sides. 7x is equal to 28. Divide both sides by 7. X equals 4. All right, so x is equal to 4. Now we're asked to find the length of side MA. So we know what x is, just plug it in. So if MA is equal to 9x minus 8, that's going to be 9 times 4 minus 8, which is 36 minus 8, which is, what, 28? Yeah, so 28 units. All right, the next thing that we're asked to find is the length of TH. The length of TH. This one is going to be a little bit harder. Okay, sorry, that took me a second. I paused. It's not going to be that much harder. I did not see this right here. I was like, wait a minute, how are we going to find TH? We know that TH and MH are congruent, and we found X already. So we know that MH is equal to 3X. So TH is also equal to 3X since they're congruent. So we're just going to do 3 times 4, because we said X is 4 already, and that's 12. So both of those sides have to be 12. Okay, so now to find the measures of angles M and T, first of all, we said they're congruent, so we know that they're the same number. We also know that all of these angles have to add up to 360. So I know that my 62 degree angle plus my 34 degree angle plus the measure of angle M plus the measure of angle T, which is the same as M, equals 360. So I'm just going to add 62 and 34. See, I get 96, and I'm going to subtract that from 360. So what I'm left with is 264. All right, so that means that angles M and T must add up to 264. Since they're the same angle, I can just divide that by 2. So 264 divided by 2 is 132 degrees. So both of those must be 132 degrees. All right, number 32. Find each of the values of using the isosceles trapezoid below. So it matters that we know it's isosceles because we said these side lengths are congruent. The non-parallel sides are congruent. We also said the base angles are congruent so to each other. So R and A are congruent, P and T are congruent. All right, so now if we are finding X, isosceles means they're the same. So 6x, or that's not what it means. It means it has two congruent sides. 6x plus 28 equals 9x plus 4. Subtract 6x. 28 equals 3x plus 4. Subtract 4. 24 is equal to 3x. 8 is equal to x. All right. So now to find the length of side TR, we just plug that 8 in. So 6 times 8 plus 28. Let's see, 6 times 8 is 48 plus 28. 48 plus 28 is 76. The length of TR is 76 units. Now we're asked to find angles A and P. So angle A is congruent to angle R. We said those base angles will always be congruent. So it's 117 degrees. Remember that in a trapezoid, these angles are always supplementary. So the consecutive angles, one from the top, one from the bottom. So to find the measure of angle P, I'm going to do 180 minus 117. 180 minus 117, we get 63. Angle P must be 63 degrees. And so would angle T. All right. Last but not least, certainly not least, we are asked to classify quadrilateral LION with these given vertices, find the length of each side, and find the slope of each segment to prove that they're parallel or perpendicular. I realize I didn't give you like a axis here. So let's do this. Okay, so L is at negative 5, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Call that point L. I is at 1, 2. O is at 3, negative 1. And then N is at negative 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 5. Oops, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's side N. All right, so if we connect these in order, L to I to O, O to N, L to N, or N to L. Okay. We are asked to find the length of each side and show our work. So I need the length of side LI, side IO, side ON, and side NL. All right, so LI is the easy one. I can just count. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. IO, I'm going to need the Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to just look at this triangle. It's 2 by 3. So it's going to be 2 squared plus 3 squared. Take the square root. Let's see, that's 4 plus 9. Take the square root. That's the square root of 13, which is 3 point something. I'm just going to leave it the square root of 13. I think it's like 3.6. All right, so to find ON, we'll count down. We'll make a right triangle. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So ON is going to be 6 squared plus 4 squared. Take the square root. All right, so 6 squared plus 4 squared is 52. So the square root of 52, which I think is what? I think we could simplify that to root 13, I think. Or we could just approximate this at being about 7.2. All right, and lastly, NL. We're going to do the Pythagorean theorem one more time. I'm going to make my right triangle. We're going over 2 units, then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is going to be 7 squared plus 2 squared. Take the square root. So that's 49 plus 4, and the square root of 53. All right, so we're asked to classify this quadrilateral. What we know right now about it is that it's not any type of parallelogram, because in parallelograms, we have to have at least 2 pair of congruent sides, and then for a rhombus or square, all 4. And these are all different side lengths. So it also can't be a kite, because a kite would have at least 2 pair of congruent consecutive sides. So this is either a trapezoid or it's not a trapezoid. So it's going to either be a trapezoid or it's going to turn out that it's just a quadrilateral. So let's check the slopes of this one. All right, so the slope of LI is really easy. It's 0. And, slope of LI equals 0. Because it's horizontal, so 0 rise over whatever run. If I'm thinking this is a trapezoid, because we know trapezoids have one pair of parallel sides, if I look at it, it would have to be these two sides, because this side is obviously not horizontal. So let's say I find the slope of IO. I already did some of this work when I was finding the length, so I'm going to rise down 3 over 2. So the slope of IO is going to be negative 3 over 2. Let's look at LN. So if I look at the slope of LN, I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then over 2, right? I hope I graphed this correctly. I think I did. Sorry, I'm looking at it and I just was thinking that I thought that I remembered that this ended up being a trapezoid, but maybe I made a mistake graphing. So anyways, the slope of LN though should be negative 7 over 2. And then if I find NO, I'm going up 4 over 6. So my slope of NO is positive 4, 6 or 2/3. So as I'm looking at this, we do have a perpendicular intersection at IO and NO. So that's a right angle. But as I'm looking at this, if I graph this correctly, this should just be a quadrilateral. Let me double check my points real fast. I'm kind of embarrassed. Let's see. So L is at negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And up. Oh, it's supposed to be negative 2. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to go back and fix that one.